Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged out maniacs and homeless people. And we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not going to take it. I know Eddie's very talented. Crime is down in Washington, D.C. Street crime, violent crime by 25%. And people have seen, they've noticed a big difference.
And the murder rates are plummeting. We are now able to report that the murder rate is on track to be the lowest in U.S. history, in modern recorded U.S. history, thanks to this team behind me and President Trump's priorities.
Okay, so it's a lot. Which one is it, right? Is it Uchi Wally Wally? Is it one Mike? I think what a lot of people don't understand is that this is what 2025 USA authoritarianism looks like. And it connects back to the alarms people were ringing on disinformation and misinformation. And I feel like I have a cursed brain, and many of you probably feel like this, because if you understand some political science, history as a whole, maybe you went to school for it, like some of us stupidly did, then, and you also have an awareness of like pop culture, because someone like me, I talk about music a lot. Just walk with me here. You start noticing the connections, right? So when you see a lot of disinformation, misinformation in things like music, sports, and you see how it preps the audience to be ready for it in politics, or it's happening at the same time, you start seeing the dangers of that, right? The clip I just played to you as we see Trump militarizing D.C., the District of Washington, D.C., and you start realizing that a lot of it depends on disinformation, right? But so much so, because they talk out of all sides of their mouths, we have enough clips to disprove the things that they're saying, right? The basis of this is, hey, crime is high in D.C. The basis of this is, and they want to connect this back to Doge, is, hey, here's the trigger, right? The young gentleman, his name Big Boss or whatever, he was put in charge of Homeland Security at some point or whatever. He was attacked, right? And if you know anything I've said about the CIA or anything I've said about our government, if you think they can do it, they've already done it, allegedly, right? So just walk with me. This is the basis of why you're now going to take over D.C. By the way, when I say this is what 2025 authoritarianism in the United States looks like, is that the U.S. is a very interesting place, because when those old guys in the wigs put these, these rules in place, they assumed that, one, the checks and balances would take care of itself. As you see right now, when you have a cult and you have members of your party that are in control being scared to check you, you're going to pretty much railroad through that. The second thing is, a lot of it also depended on whoever was elected to just follow the sort of code of conduct that's a wink wink. And as you can see, someone like Donald Trump won't do that. But there is enough in place that says we should be able to stop some of these things, right? Like, so what is, I believe this is called a Home Rule Act. So he can only do this for about 48 hours. Then anything outside of that, I believe it would need a law. But that's the next thing, is like, what would make him say, I'm going to just follow the law, if you're not already following the law and you're lying and saying crime is up. You see, mayors of places like Baltimore, like Brandon Scott, shout out to him, having to get on TV and say, hey, we got to disprove some of this stuff, right? We've got to talk about how crime is down in my city, and look at all the holistic approach that I took to this to push crime down. There's an ulterior motive here. And let's talk about that quote unquote ulterior motive, right? Which is, you push to see just how much you can get away with. That's the textbook authoritarianism, right? You drum up conspiracies, dramas, and threats that are not there. But the next part, because it always comes down to money with these people, money and influence, is you use DC as an example, right? As an experiment of some sorts for you and your billionaire AI crypto tech bros to see how you can, one, for yourself, create a city and sort of shaping and molding your image as a palace for you, right? You understand what I'm saying? See where I'm trying to go with that? I'm not trying to deep it too much, because I don't want to sound like I'm fear-mongering. And then second, you allow your tech bros and billionaire bros and all types of conservative bros to come in, Palantir, right? You start, how does AI work here? How do we track people? And then once you figure out one, and try to see what you can do with another. And you also create distractions, because you still need distractions, right, Jeffrey? Right? Remember, right? Like, so this is what it looks like. And at certain points, the face of it feels laughable. At other points, it seems so ridiculous because we have the video, right? It's not 1932. Like we can. And then at other points, when you think about if everything goes as planned, it's outright scary.